I can't believe we're going to finish the book today. We are starting with chapter 46 from Joe's perspective, and yesterday we left on a really exciting part. Joe left Ravi a note that said, "Beware, do not touch the jar. Trust me, Joe." Let's find out what happens. This is from Joe's perspective. As we line up and start down the hall toward the library, my stomach is in a knot. Can I really pull this off? Dylan Samreen is up ahead, sticking his tongue out at Lucy Mulligan while she ignores him. Ravi hasn't said anything to me, but I know he read the note. I saw him. I hope I'm right about Dylan, but the closer we get to the library, the more I wonder if I was crazy to think that my plan could work. And then it happens. The first domino falls. "Oops, I forgot my book," Dylan tells Mrs. Beam. "I'll be right back." Here goes. I think this is it. As I turn and watch Dylan walk down the hall, I think about all the mean things he's done. Not just to me, but to Ravi. Zebras have to stick together. I want Ravi to feel the way I felt when I saw that double M&M sitting in the bowl. As I watch Dylan Samreen duck into room 506, all I can do is hope that after all these years I know him as well as I think I do. I cross my fingers and begin the final countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I should probably just stop there. Just kidding. No! The door bangs open and Dylan comes flying out of room 506 like a bat out of you-know-where. There's a terrified look on his face and a big wet stain spreading across the front of his pants. I can't believe it! It actually worked! When I saw Dylan eyeballing those leeches earlier, I knew it was only a matter of time before he'd try to swipe them. And like everything else he'd taken, I also knew where they would end up. Dylan is jumping up and down now, swatting at the front of his pants until finally the glass jar falls out of the bottom of one of his pant legs and rolls across the floor. Talk about an epic situation. Oh, looks like it's not working out so well for Dylan to take things, huh? Chapter 47 is from Ravi's perspective. What kind of fool puts leeches in his pants? Loosening the lid had been a capital idea. Nothing less than pure genius. Dylan is running around like a headless chicken. Then the bully of Albert Einstein Elementary School drops his pants and runs screaming down the hall in his starry underwear. Brilliant! I say a secret prayer of thanks to my grandfather and to the poor innocent leeches who sacrificed their lives for this important occasion. Later, after Dylan Samreen has called his mother to come pick him up, and the cleaner has finished wiping up Emily Mooney's vomit, we return to the classroom. "Would you like to finish telling us your story, Ravi?" Mrs. Beam asks. "No, thank you," I say. I don't need to show off anymore. But I'm not like Dylan Samreen, and I never will be. "I believe it's your turn to guess, Ravi," Mrs. Beam says, holding the basket out to me. I close my eyes, make a wish, and pull out a card. "There is more to me than meets the eye," I read. "Ah," says Mrs. Beam. "Now that's a tough one, especially for you, Ravi, because you're new here. Would you like to choose another card instead, something that might be a bit easier to guess?" I shake my head. That is the card I wanted to get, the one I had wished for. I carry it over and set it down beside the glass dish with the blue candy in it. "It's Joe," I say. Joe nods, then lifts his head up and looks at me. I smile and he smiles back. His eyes are brown, the color of cinnamon sticks Amma brought with her from Bangalore. "How in the world did you ever guess that?" asks Mrs. Beam, impressed. "It was easy," I tell her. "These candies have 4 layers. Most people assume there are only 3, but assumptions are often wrong. There is more to them than meets the eye." "Did you learn that in India?" asks Mrs. Beam. "No," I tell her. "I learned it here, from Joe." Chapter 48 is from Joe's perspective. This is the last chapter that we'll hear from Joe. "My mom and dad are both pretty smart people, but the truth is they don't know everything. Turns out you don't have to punch someone in the nose or blab about your feelings to get your point across. Sometimes all you need is a little help from a friend. There are some things about my life that are probably never going to change. Like, for instance, my awesome metabolism, or the fact that I have APD. But I've only been in 5th grade for 5 days, and I've already noticed a big change. The other day, when Mr. Barnes told me that the world was full of Dylan Samrines, I was pretty bummed out. But now that I know it's possible for a couple of zebras to outsmart a crocodile, life is starting to look up. Not only that, but it's Friday, pizza day. Chapter 49, the very last chapter of our book. Here's from Ravi. I have always been Amma and Appa's shining sun and my grandparents' pride and joy, but today I have learned something important. Winning is not always about shining the brightest. Sometimes it's about sharing the light with someone who has been waiting in the shadows all along. It is 11:30 and the bell has just rung. My first week at Albert Einstein Elementary School is almost over. Amma's black tongue was right after all. Things have turned out okay. As I pick up my tiffin box and walk out of room 506, I feel like a new person. I haven't decided yet whether I will eat my curd rice or try the pizza today, but it doesn't matter because I know I will not be eating my lunch alone. When I get to the lunchroom, I know my new friend will be saving a seat for me, and I am right. It's a good book. It's nice that we ended on such a great note. I will be curious to hear your thoughts. I'll see you later.